Hey, Marty here. Welcome to the Sublime to the Ridiculous video blog edition. I've got two things I was going to tell you today, and I'm not sure which one I want to go with. I've been going back and forth. Do I tell them this? Do I tell them that? They're both kind of vaguely shop related, both kind of vaguely Grandpa Joe related. So when you have competing ideas like that in your mind, it's a what to do situation. So, what to do? I think I'll tell this one now and I'll tell the other one next time, if I remember. I've talked about my Uncle John. Uncle John was swell. He's only my dad's youngest brother, but my dad was the oldest of 8, so you can imagine there's a bit of a spread in the family. About 12 years, I believe. I want to say Dad was born in 1936. Well, more than I want to say. I know my father was born in 1936, and I think Uncle John was born in 1948. And then I was born in 1960, so we're off 12 years both ways. I love Zeke. Uncle John, sometimes we called him Zeke. I've probably explained that before. I think a lot of ways I think he was almost more like an elder brother than an uncle, although I always called him Uncle John, because you call your aunts and uncles by their title. It's a bit of respect. But I felt like we were almost brothers more than uncle and nephew anyway. Not sure what he thought. I'm sure at first when I was just a little squirt running around, he probably didn't think much of it, but most of us are probably in that boat, eh? Anyway, me, Uncle John, and we both worked for me Grandpa Joe, who rented welding machines, and he had this pickup truck in the early 80s that we'd pick up welders with. And Joe, to give him his credit, he built this really nice ramp that we could load big machines on. These electric machines we put on there typically weighed 11 or 1,200 pounds. So we had a ramp, and then we'd have a hand truck, or not a hand truck, but a hand ratchet, a thing with a big ratchet handle and a long metal cord, strung spring cord. Strung spring? Anyway, it was a thing that you could crank things up with, right? And we'd put the ramp on, we'd hook this winch up. A hand winch, yeah. And we'd winch the machine up into the back of the pickup truck, and then we'd secure it, and we'd be on our way, right? So one day this electric machine was ready for pickup, and Joe sent me and Uncle John out for it. And we went out there in the pickup truck with the ramp, and this thing was in the middle of a field. No power of any type anywhere near it, in the middle of a field. And the field had been wet, and there were ruts and this and that, and it was hard to move the machine around, even though he and I were able to push and prod and get the thing lined up so we could put the ramp down and have the machine lined up and put the hand winch up, anchor it in the back, and crank it in. But it was a chore, and we were both sweating hard and panting hard and everything. It was a chore getting it to that point. So we hook it up and we start winching it up into the back of the pickup truck, and we get that thing about halfway up the ramp. And Uncle John says to him, "Man, I'll be glad when this is over." And I agreed, "Yeah, so will I." And he says, "You just imagine things can't get any worse, right?" Right. Is that premonition? Is that the kiss of death? Is that, I don't know, but almost as soon as we agreed that this has been a difficult job and how could it get harder, a torrential rain came in. And we were soaking wet in about 5 seconds. It rained that hard, that fast, boom. We're standing next to this pickup truck soaking wet. And we looked at each other and he goes, "Can't get any wetter, may as well winch it on up." And I said, "Yeah, that's right." And we did. We took turns and we winched it up into place and set it up there and tied ropes off and everything and got in the cab of the pickup soaking wet, and that's the story I decided to tell you today. Thank you for watching. Please like, please subscribe. Please comment in the comment menus. I'd appreciate it. In the meantime, this is Marty going from the sublime to the ridiculous. We went from soaking wet with sweat to soaking wet with rainwater. I guess the two did kind of balance each other out, eh?